In the previous use case, we were able to demonstrate how filling a form or doing something on another platform can connect to database either on your on-premise or wherever you have it. In this video, we're going to speak to the reporting side of database. So how do you leverage on Power Automate to schedule a report that say every week you should go to your database and spool new records, or maybe particular, you can give a condition to it. What says is going to be due, what training is due next week or in the next 10 days, and every Friday you should keep sending that report in any format you need it, be it as HTML table or as Excel file that you can share with your stakeholders. A good example of this use case could be regulatory concern, where you are looking at a certain inflow beyond between a threshold. You can set that as a condition. And in this video, we're going to demonstrate just that, how Power Automate can connect to run stop procedures on your database and also share the results either as CSV or even as HTML table via email. I can't wait to actually show you how to get this done in simple and easy to follow steps. See you in the next video. In order for us to create a schedule report that is being spooled and generated at our own set frequency, our own set interval, we need to leverage on the programmability part of SQL Server Management Studio, which we are talking about stop procedure. So what is a stop procedure? A stop procedure is a prepared SQL code that can be saved and then be used over and over again. So you write a script, instead of you just disregarding it, you can save it as a stop procedure and program in such a way that, okay, be running at a particular interval, run as a job, or find another service that connect to it and run it anytime you need it. That is basically stop procedure. So right now, let us go to our table, which is the DBO sales table. I'm going to select up 1000 so that I can see the columns there. What we're majorly interested in is the fact that not just selecting the tables, we want sales order whose training date is due in the next 10 days. For example, that is it. In the next 10 days, what are these training things? What are the trainings that are due? So I'm just going to write this script right under here and say select star. I'm going to paste this guy from this. So now let's start mentioning those columns that I need to select in my report. Let's start with this. We need the first name. We need last name, customer number. The order does not matter, like maybe the case, either small letter, capital letter, it doesn't matter. Email address, gender. We need I'm looking at the columns now. Product, let's select product. Amount paid, training dates. Let's see the training dates, employee name, and finally employee email. All right, I wish I can break this so that, okay, from this guy. Now let's run this. You realize we have shorter columns. Yes, however, we need only those whose training date is due in the next 10 days. So how do I get this? So I'm going to write another condition and say where training is about the training date now. Training date is greater than or equals to today. Today is 6 date time. So it's greater than today. It's comparing those dates together. And another condition, and training date should be less than or equals to, I need to then add, I want to add 10 days, plus today's date, which is the system date that's giving today's date now, less than or equals to. So I'm going to use the date add function here, date add. What is the interval? The moment I use this function, let me see, date add. Date add is going to tell me, okay, what's the interval? I need the interval in day. What's the increment? I need 10 days. And what is the expression? Is that's the date column itself. Is my 6 date time. 6 date time. All right, I can close it. So this way, it has added 10 days plus today. So I'm saying for me to get everything within next 10 days, number one, the training day must be either equals to or greater than today, and must be less than or equals to 10 days from now. So this is what will give me those training that I do around those times. So let's execute, and you see we just have fewer columns now, fewer rows rather, and look at the training date. All these are within the next 10 days. Today is 17, 10 plus 17, that's 27. None of these dates is beyond 27. Awesome. So meaning our script is good, it's nice now. But if you select everything here, you realize that we have about 9 rows, but for this we have just 5, which is fine. Okay, now the next thing for us to do is to now write a store procedure. So how do we then turn this code SQL script now to something that we can save so that I can use it over and over again? And that's the store procedure. So same thing we've done here, just that the query or what we write is quite different, a little bit different. So let's start by saying create procedure. So that's the first create procedure. That's the first command you're going to. And what's the name of the procedure? Just the same way you are creating table, you are saying create table. And what's the name? I'm going to say schedule, training schedule. Training schedule, that is the name of the procedure. Then if I need a particular variables, and that's the programmability part now, you are parameterizing some variables so that they can change. Unlike the normal query now that nothing is changing, in store procedure you can parameterize some variables so that they can change. And my variable is going to be my training date. So I'm setting a variable that will be changing, and I'm calling it training date. And what type of date value will it be? Date. So it's going to be date. All right, as what am I now? It's time to now start writing my script itself now. The same thing I've written here is what I'm going to copy, Ctrl C, and paste right here. I'm going to paste it right here. Yep. So, but the only difference, okay, the only difference here is that I need where under my where condition, I need to be referencing the parameter, the input, which is the training data I created here, not the one in column, on my table. And to reference that, I really need to put the @ sign. So look, I'm referencing the training date. Okay, this will still stand as training date instead of using 6 date time. That is what is actually changing here. This is what is changing to training date, because that is the day I put in there at training date. Okay, and training date, this training date is they are the column from the database. They are this training date, but this is the one that is changing, the one I create here, which is which is trying to say, okay, what is the range, what date range do I need? Okay, so training date here, and this same training date is 10 days from now, so it's going to be the other variable too at training date. All right, that is it. If I run this query as it is now and click on go, if I run this query, it's going to create a store procedure for us. It's going to create a store procedure for us, and we can always go back there and execute that store procedure. Let's run it now. Execute. You see, execution successful. If I come back here to programmability, and this is store procedure, if I refresh, let me refresh this database. I'm going to refresh, then come back to programmability, come back to store procedures. You see, we now have our training schedule. It's there. That's the store procedure. And if I right click to I can modify it, I can execute it as it is. If I want to execute it right now, you see, this is store procedure training date. I say okay. Say okay. You see, it's not running. Why? Because it needs a parameter. It needs a parameter return value. It needs the start date. So that's something that is missing, but we are not using this. We're going to be executing this store procedure using our flow. All right, but the takeaway here is that, yep, this store procedure is now working. All right, but if you want to test it right here, I can also execute by saying execute my store procedure. I'm going to call, what's the name? Training schedule. What is the parameter that I need? At training date. Yeah. This is the parameter that I need. My training date equals to what is the value, Here you're going to use this concatenation of a text and with a string quote and put the date there. I said 2022, the month, because that's the format of the date, and today is 17. Let's close this. If I run this, it's going to execute my store procedure and pass this as the parameter. If I run it now, do you see the same thing we have when we run this set of script? What we have it. So if I put this guy Ctrl C under this and I execute both of them, you see the result is the same thing. There's no difference. And if I change this guy to another day, maybe I put this as 2022, you see the responses will be different. But that's the parameter that is changing. This is 2, we have 4 records here, 2, 3, 6, 7, and it's quite different from what we have here. Alright, so we've been able to create a store procedure. We've gotten the report now. Yeah, we've gotten the report. In the next video, we will install a gateway, and after installing gateway, we'll create a flow that will connect to this. Thank you. Welcome back. It is time to create a schedule flow because we want it to run maybe every week, so we have to create a schedule flow. I'm going to call this training schedule. Then it is good to run 10 a.m. every morning. It should run every week. Which day of the week? Let's say on Fridays it should run, or maybe on Monday. So we can just unselect others and leave Monday, so that way it's be running every Monday. Okay, create. This is my trigger. It is now time to add the action. So once this flow is triggered, it should execute our store procedure. So store procedure. If I put store procedure there, I should see, okay, when you put store procedure, you're going to see SQL Server execute stored procedures. That is what we need. And in previous video, we set up this connection. In case yours is not, showing this connection, you can click here and add the connection and just put the password and the details that we did in the last video. Here, I'm going to select my server. Server name is SQL Server. The database name is practice. The store procedure is going to load through the list of store procedures. I only have one, training schedule, and this is it. And that one has only a single parameter, which is training date. So we're going to see something like training date right here. It's trying to look through that training schedule now to find if there are any parameters. We should see training days here. Okay, good. So this is training day. To specify the training date, I'm just going to come here and format date time. Format date time. And I'm going to use UTC now. Then my format will be -dd. Alright, so I'm going to insert this. So this way it will take the date format. After I'm done doing this, I need to use pass.json. Pass.json. Whatever is coming from there is, okay, first let's select the result set. You're going to select result set and put empty array here because I don't know the structure, so look, I don't want you to write it. So just store or save this and we're going to run it. When we run, we're going to copy the outcome, which we now use to form our schema. Okay, so let's test it. It's a new flow. Manually, then click on test and click on run flow. Done. Okay, flow ran successfully. Awesome. And if you open this pass.json, you see it has returned some, some details, and that's exactly what we need. This thing inside is what we need. So just copy it, everything. We're gonna copy everything. Let me be sure. Yeah, Ctrl C to copy. Let's edit. In this pass.json, just delete this guy, come to generate from sample and paste it, and say done. It will have splitted them into different objects from what it is now to array, from object to array. Okay, then the next step is to select. So select. The reason why we are adding select again is, yes, we need all the columns, all the value here. However, we might want to set the column name quite different because they are concatenated. They are in camel case. You might want to give them space, and you can do that easily with select. So from what am I selecting? I'm selecting from table. Select table and not body. Select from table because that is, if you know the structure of that array, is inside table. Okay, from table. And what are we selecting? Okay, let's start with first. Like now, first I can put space, first name, and what it will be repeating is first name and not the first name that I have here. Alright, I can say this last name, We need to select almost everything. We need that. I'm only putting it here. Last name, customer number, this customer number, which I can put right here. Customer number, the email address, which I can also put here. I'm going to add email address, gender of this customer, as many columns as you need. I'm going to add them here. Products, which is the training now we're expecting. I'm going to add product here. Training date, very important. Training date. I'm going to add that here. Training date. Employee name, so that we know who is in charge. Employee name. I'm going to add that here. Employee email. Employee email. That should be here as well. Amount paid. Amount paid, which I'm also going to add just right here. Okay, we're done. The next step for me is to convert to table. So create HTML table. So I'm going to create HTML table. This is it. And I'm going to put in the output from my select. I need to also format this table. So I'm going to put a compose. I want to style the table. So from this compose, I already have in the project folder, I already have a HTML styling tags, CSS style that I should just copy. Ctrl C, just copy the style and come back and paste right here. And at the end, just input the HTML creatable. Just input it there. Good. The next step here is to send email. I want to send email. Right, send email. I'm directing this email to one person, so I might have to just put Ola Charles straight away. Ola Charles. And if you need the email, if you want to send it per person, remember there is agent employee email, which is the RM email. If you want to do this, you need to do a select first for them. You need to do a union for the email. So you have to select email, union them, so that for every email it should then send every training that falls, to them. But let's say this is the overall training schedule in the next 10 days. All right, next 10 days. Then I'm gonna say then I'm going to insert the compose. Come down, say regards. Don't forget to change your email importance to either normal or high. I'm going to keep this at normal, then I'm going to save. So you see, not that difficult, just simple. In the next video, we will test this. Thank you and bye. It is time to test our flow. It's as simple as go to test because it's a recurring flow, so we just have to trigger it. I can also set the time that, okay, once it is exact time, it should just run. Okay, I'm going to click on run flow. I'm going to click on done. Continues to run. Execute the stop procedure, pass JSON, select those things we need to select, create HTML table for us, format this HTML table, send an email and embed the HTML table in the email. In previous use cases, we've done similar thing like this for reports, and we did that of Excel. In case you also need it to be an Excel, after this select, you just have to create a CSV, okay, which is something I'm going to add right there. All right, so but let's check this table first. I can see right here in my mail, that is what I have right here. I believe you yourself can see it as well. The first name, the last name, the customer number, see, this is the table. And this thing will be sending every time. So let's go ahead and add the attachment as CSV to this so that we can also see it. So I'm going to just edit here, and instead of creating HTML table, I'm going to say create CSV table, create CSV table. I'm only passing here what is coming from my select, similar thing, and that is all. So the next is in my mail under attachment, just going to come here, and that's the create CSV table. Put it out there, and the name, just going to put the name of that person or the date or the report. Let's just put training schedule, training underscore schedule underscore, maybe I want to put the date. Yep, it's good to put the date. format date time UTC now. And what's the I can specify mine now to be dd/mm/y. Quote it. Okay, then because the CSV file or CSV. All right, so I'm going to save, and this time around we'll run it again. Okay, when we run it, we're going to get the email. We're also going to get a CSV, which is the executable attached. Flow ran successfully. So let's go check my mail as well. Okay, we can see right here. I can see it there. Awesome. I have this, the table, and I also have the file as a CSV just right here. If I double click to open it, I'm able to see it. This is it. Awesome. So it's as simple as that, depending on the format that you need it to be sent. We are done now, and thank you.